everyone. It is Olivia Callan, Certified Health Fitness Specialist with Corporate Fitness Work. And today is our last week of our mobility series. So this week, the body part that we are going to be focusing on is our spine. Now you are going to need some equipment for these mobility exercises, but they're equipment that you can find in your house. So what I have with me today is I have our coffee table, I have a foam roller, and then I'm also going to be using a Swiffer. All right, so a lot of at-home objects that you can find. All right, now you can find a broom. All right, you can find a pillow instead of a foam roller. And then if you have maybe stairs or you have a bench at home or even a low bed or couch, you can use that for that exercise. Again, I'll explain each exercise and the equipment necessary for those exercises as we begin. But I'm going to start with our coffee table first. So we are going to have the coffee table, and we're also going to be using our Swiffer, all right, or a PVC pipe or a broom if you have that handy. So our first exercise that we're going to have is called a bench T-spine mobilization. All right, so how we're going to do this, we're going to come down onto our mat. So I have hardwood floor, so I want to make sure my knees are supported. All right, so how we're going to set up is my toes are going to be tucked in, knees nice and aligned with those hips. All right, I'm going to set my elbows right out in front of me, and I'm going to be grasping that Swiffer. All right, so as I start, I want to make sure that my arms are slightly past 90 degrees. All right, wrists and arms directly in line with that shoulder. All right, knees are back. And so I'm starting with my hands in front of me. Now as we go, we're going to bring that Swiffer up. We're going to push our hips back to our heels. And we're going to try to get the Swiffer or PVC pipe right over our head, and we're going to hold. All right, so again, starting. All right, if you have a bench or a step, elbows are right on that higher surface. All right, elbows are slightly past 90 degrees, wrists are aligned with those shoulders. All right, out in front of you, your arms are sitting. All right, we're going to push those hips back to those heels, and I'm going to bring that pipe or that broom right up to about overhead, and I'm going to hold here. So let's hold this for about 10 seconds, and then we're going to release back forward. Three, 2, 1, good. Release back forward. All right, we're going to do that one more time, all right? So pushing those hips back, all right, allowing those hands to come up over your head, and holding that, all right, allowing for some mobilization in that spine. So here we go. Last time, bringing those hands up, pushing those hips back, finding that position and holding this here for 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Great job. All right, so that exercise you can do finding a higher surface. One key point that I want to make sure that I point out to you guys before we move to our next exercise, as when you're going back and pushing those hips back to those heels, all right, and those hands are coming overhead, we want to make sure that we're also pushing those elbows in, all right, into that higher surface, and you'll feel a nice stretch going, but also allowing that thoracic spine to be mobile in this hold. All right, so there's that with that table. So we can go ahead and put those PVC pipes or that broom or that Swiffer, whatever you're using, we can put that to the side. I'm going to go ahead and move my coffee table out the way for you guys so we can get into our next 3 exercises. All right. So our next exercise that we're going to come on down to our mat, all right, and you guys probably have seen these out there before. especially if you're a big yoga person, we're gonna do some cat-cows. So what's gonna happen, we're gonna come down to our mat and we're gonna be on all fours. So we're gonna have those wrists aligned with those shoulders. And we're gonna have those knees nice and aligned with those hips. All right, so here we're gonna be allowing that spine to move, all right, going up and rounding down. So how we're gonna start this, we are going to exhale up, we're gonna inhale into cow, all right? So as we go into cow, there should be a little dive in your, all right, in your back. So you're pressing that back down for a little dip. And then as we exhale, we rise up, rounding the back up, squeezing here for cat, all right? So again, rounding, squeezing, driving that back in as we go to cow, all right? So let's do this for a nice 3 rounds. So exhaling up, inhaling down, exhale up, inhale down, exhale up. Excuse me guys, we are doing that wrong. So we should be exhaling as we go down, inhale as we go to cat, all right? So again, inhaling as we go to cat, exhaling as we go down, all right? So let's do that 3 more rounds, guys. Sorry about that. I felt something was not right. So again, inhale in for cat, exhale for cow. There we go. One more time. Exhale. And one more. We'll get one more in. Inhale in. Rise it up for cat. Exhale out for cow. All right, so we have cat and cow for a little, again, a little thoracic spine exercise, and also working on inhaling and exhaling in that breathing, all right? But very good, all right, if you just woke up in the morning or you had maybe a little break in your day to do some cat-cow. So a very common one out there for people to do. So we're gonna stay on the ground, we're gonna stay on our fours, but we're gonna come down, all right? We're gonna come down for a thoracic rotation, all right? So we're gonna start with our left arm. Our left arm is gonna be over our head, all right? So the hand is placed right on top of that head. But we're gonna come down onto that forearm. So that right arm should be on the ground, all right? So this allows minimal movement, in our lower back, and it's creating more movement in that upper back. So we're focusing on that. So my hand is behind, all right, my head. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna rotate my elbow up to the sky, all right? Now some people might be able to fully rotate their elbow up to the sky. Some people, you might only be able to get it looking, all right, to the corner of the room that you're in, all right? It all just depends on how flexible your spine is, or you know, how much you're taking care of yourself. So let's go ahead, we're gonna do 5 reps with our left arm. So again, taking that elbow in, rotating it up. For 1, back down. 2, back down. 3, 4, one more, and 5. Good, go ahead, come back onto your heels, shake your shoulders out, and we're gonna go to that opposite side. So now our left forearm is gonna be on the ground, right hand is gonna be on the back of our head, and we're going to rise that elbow up and down. Again, for 5 reps. All right, here we go in 3, 2, 1. Rotate that elbow up to the sky and back down again. So us having our forearm on the ground, all right, is creating maximum movement in that upper back instead of that lower back, all right? So maybe you've done it without the forearm on the ground before. We're just focusing on a little bit more of that upper back in this one. Here, let's go one more going up and back down. Now, you can take that hand, all right, instead of having a forearm on the ground, you can just have that hand on the ground and do a little bit of that, all right? You might feel a difference, all right? You're like, wow, my elbow goes a little bit higher, all right? Because we're kind of in a neutral position, so we're still gonna focus a little more on the lower back and upper back right here, but with that forearm, all right, we're creating more movement in the upper back, all right? So that was our third exercise. So we're on to our fourth exercise. And for your rotations, your thoracic rotations, you can do about 5 to 10 reps each arm. It all depends on how flexible that spine is, all right? So if you felt any discomfort or you felt like, wow, I couldn't really get myself, all right, I would work at starting pretty much at the low reps and then increase your way up to those higher reps, all right? But so far we had that bench, all right, mobilization, we had the cat-cow, we had the thoracic rotation, and then our last one is going to be open books. All right, so this is where I'm going to bring my foam roller. Again, if you don't have a foam roller at home, you can find a pillow, you can find maybe like a book. All right, what we're gonna do is we're gonna place our knee on top of this foam roller. So we're gonna lay down on our backs. All right, I'm going to come on over to my left side and I'm going to bring my right knee rested on top of that foam roller. All right, so my knee is slightly at 90 degrees. All right, my inner part of that knee is going to be right on top of that foam roller. All right, my calves, my foot is hanging off of it because my foam roller is pretty small. But I want to make sure that that knee is rested on that foam roller because what we're doing is we're having that knee nice and aligned with that hip right here, all right? So it's our right leg that we're starting with first. So our lower body should look like this. Our upper body, we're gonna take my left hand, all right, palm facing up to the sky, and then I'm gonna take my right hand over top of it, all right? So my shoulders are facing, all right, right in front of me, head facing right in front of me. My left palm, all right, is facing to the sky. My right palm is over top of it, all right? So we're making like an arrow. What we're gonna do is we're gonna open up that right arm, all right? So we're opening up our chest. That right arm is gonna go out to the side, so it looks like this. So I open up, trying to get, all right, both my shoulders remaining on the ground at all times. So I open, all right? So again, starting position, we're gonna open up. Chest is open, and then we're going back, all right? So maybe you've done a stretch like this, like a spinal twist, but what we're doing is we're opening up. So not only are we getting our back involved, but we're also getting that chest involved. So let's go ahead and do 3 reps of these. So there's 1, 2, let's get that last one. And 3, good. Go ahead, switch on over to that opposite side. All right, I'm gonna come up a little more on this side. I'm gonna put this camera down a little bit so you guys can see my arms on this. So now we're gonna have that left knee is gonna be on top of the foam roller or if you have a pillow. All right, and we're gonna do the same thing. So now that right arm is on the ground, left arm is over top. Same thing, all right? We're opening up and then back. Good. Opening up and back. Let's do a total of 5 for this one. All right, so also feel the difference between that right side and that left side. Do you feel a little more flexibility in your left side versus your right? Or do you feel flexibility more on that right side or that left side versus the right? Good. Now, one thing we're also getting too is, yes, we're getting some rotation going on, but we're also getting a stretch too. That's why if you've done like that spinal twist pose, we're sitting in a nice position that's going to allow us to get that stretch in as well. Let's get one more, guys. One more. Perfect, good. So for the open books, you can do about 10 to 12 reps each arm, all right, each way, all depending again on how your back is feeling. But yeah, so those are our 4 exercises for the spine mobility. Again, there's so many out there, but just some 4 basic ones that I feel like you guys can do at home. All right, a little bit of a hold, and then we got some rotation, and then we also got some diving that back in and then rounding it out with that cow. So we got a little bit of variety for that spine. But if you have any other questions, feel free to email us. And thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you next time for our next series. Have a great day.